This lesson is focusing on the sine rule. The sine rule is an important rule relating the sides and angles of any triangle. This means the triangle doesn't have to be a right angle. So let's have a look at this triangle. Here we have sides A, B and C and angles A, B and C. So by drawing the height of the triangle from our A vertex, we're going to call this H. So we can express the height in two different ways. So we know that our rule, let's write our sine rule on the side. So sine theta is equal to the opposite over hypotenuse. So using this rule, we're going to represent the height in two different ways. So we have sine angle B. So from this side is the opposite H over our height. So our opposite H over our hypotenuse C. And this can be written as in terms of H. So we can say H is equal to C times sine B. From this side here, we can say that sine angle C is equal to the opposite, which is H, over our hypotenuse B. And this written in terms of H can be H equals B times sine C. By equating these values of H, we then have C times sine B is equal to B of sine times sine C, because those two equal each other. So using a bit of algebra, we can rearrange this to say C over sine angle C is equal to side B over sine angle B. And this is the first part of our rule. So by drawing the height on our next triangle, so let's move that down. So by drawing the height H from our other two vertices, so we're going to draw it from here down to create a right angle. It's probably not the best right angle, but that's okay. We're going to label that H. I'll put a little right angle symbol in here so you know. So what we're going to do, is we're going to express the height in two different ways again. So sine, where are we? Sine A, so angle A here, sine A is equal to the opposite, which is H, over our hypotenuse, which is C. So writing this in terms of H, we get H equals C times sine angle A. Now looking at this right angled triangle, we're going to say that sine angle C is equal to opposite, which is H, over our hypotenuse, which is A. Therefore, in terms of H, we have A multiplied by sine angle C. So again, by equating these values of H, we have C times sine angle A is equal to side A times sine angle C. So rearranging this using algebra, we get C over sine angle C equals A over sine angle A, which if we have a look at our rule up the top here, we can see that C over sine C is also equal to B over sine angle B, which is also equal to A sine A over sine angle A. So we can extend our rule down here and write B over sine angle B. This can also be written as sine C over side C equals sine angle A over our side A equals sine angle B over our side B. So this is our rule that we're going to use. Okay, so we can use the sine rule when we are given either these two pieces of information. So either two sides and an angle opposite to one of the two sides, so something looking like this, or we can use the sine rule when we have one side and any two angles, like this. So those are the only two cases when we can use our sine rule. So let's put this into an example. So example 1, find the length of xz. So that's this side here, xz. So let's write out our rule. So our rule is A over sine angle A is equal to B over sine angle B. So now let's put in our values. So we're going to find A. So let's label A as xz. xz over, so our angle A is going to be 95. Then we have side B, which is 4, over our angle opposite to that side, which is 40 degrees. So in pink, I'm just going to label these sides for us. So this is going to be A, this is going to be big A, this is going to be B, and this is going to be angle B. So you can see where that comes from. Okay, so just by doing a little bit of algebra, we can say that xz is equal to sine 95 degrees multiplied by 4 over sine 40 degrees. And putting this into your calculator, you should get a value of approximately 6.20, rounded to 2 decimal places. And don't forget your units. So that's one type where we're finding a side. So now let's have a look at an example where we're finding an angle. So find the side of angle R. So that's this angle in here. So first off, let's write out our rule. We're going to use the rule, the inverse of the rule that we just used. So sine A over A is equal to sine B over B. So let's label what we've got. So we're going to say that this is A, therefore this is going to be little a because it's the opposite side. And let's say that this is capital B, so this side is going to be lowercase b. So let's sub in our values into our formula. So sine R over 4 centimeters is equal to sine 75 over 9. So let's move the 4 over to start with. So this is divided by 4, so to move it over, we are going to multiply both sides by 4. And then we want to find R, so we're going to find the inverse of sine, and then we're going to put all of this in brackets. Sine 75 on 9 multiplied by 4. Once we put that into our calculator, you should get 25.4 degrees. Thank you for watching. The next video in this series is going to be on the cosine rule.